Okay. So yesterday we discussed what is software and difference between project and product, SDLC, and why testing required, and also what types of testing. Okay. So what is software? Software is nothing but a set of programs to develop a
Different
software.
types.
Okay. Yes. What is but to take the requirements from the customers. Okay. Based on the requirements, the software industry, software company will build a project. Okay. And what is product? The company itself build a project based on the market analysis. Okay. Some simple example is like tailor shop. Okay. If you go and give measurements to the tailor, what he will do as per the measurements, will stitch a dress and give it to us, right? That is a project, and product is nothing but the ready-made garments. Directly we'll go to the shop or in online shopping. Okay, what we'll do, directly take the product, right? So that is product. And SDLC as software development cycle. So whatever the software project has been developed by the companies, they will follow certain processes. That process is called SDLC, software development life cycle. Okay, in that SDLC, what are the how many phases we have? Total 5 phases. What is that? Requirements, design, coding, testing,
Testing.
and finally deployment. I think. Uh, okay, so and SDLC is software testing life cycle. Okay, so whatever the testing we are doing, we have to follow some certain process. That process is called SDLC. Okay, in the SDLC, what we'll do, writing the test cases, executing the test cases, and reporting the bugs, file bugs. Okay, and what else? So there are multiple processes we have to follow in the SDLC during testing of a product. That is called SDLC. And why testing is required is to get the quality product. Okay, not to get the quality product, testing must be required. Okay. I'm going a high level because I covered this topic yesterday. That's just to get an overview and high level. I'm just repeating this. Yeah. And also types of testing. What are the types of testing yesterday we discussed? Unit testing.
Development and QA. Yeah.
Integration testing. Okay.
Test, functional test,
Integration testing. System testing.
system.
Okay. Only these three we discussed yesterday, right? So let's continue the rest of the testing concept today. Okay. If anybody wants to take notes, you can take it. Okay. So yesterday we talked about different testings like unit testing, integration testing is done by the unit testing, and integration is done by the who will done this?
It's done by development team.
Dev team. What QA team will do? Okay. So QA team will perform system testing and dev team will perform in unit testing and integration testing. Okay. So integration and testing, unit testing is done by the developers at the program level, whereas system testing is done by the testers, whether this application is working as per the customer requirement or not. That is the main intention of the system testing. So system testing will be done by the QA people, okay, to test whether the application is working as per the customer requirement or not. Okay. So here we don't know what the developer has written. Okay. So in system testing, we don't know what developer has written. Okay, but we should know the functionality, like how the application be like and how the screens are, how the functionality should be look and all. So before testing, we should know, we should get the functional knowledge of the application by reading the some documents. Okay, so unit testing and integration testing is also known as, so this testing is also known as
DevOps.
white box testing.
Actually, I explained this morning, right, about white box testing, black box
Yes,
testing.
yes. Yes, I have attended the class.
So unit testing and integration is also known as white box testing because they know what they have written inside. Because developers know what they have written inside. Okay, when it comes to system testing, here we don't know what is there internally, but still we are testing the software based on the requirements. So it is called black box. So it is called black box testing. Means internally we don't know what is there in the inside the program. So completely black. Okay, so completely black to the QA people. So but here in white box we can see internal what is written in that. Okay, so internally we don't know what is written in the what is there inside the program. So that is why we call them as a black box testing, and which will do by the QA people. And white box we can see internal what is written, that can see by only developers because they know what is written, so they can see. That is known as white box testing. So all the test engineers will comes under the black box testing. So all the QA people will comes under the black box testing, and all developers will comes under the white box testing. Okay, and we have one more testing which is called UAT testing. It's called UAT testing, user acceptance testing. Okay, so once QA team has been performed the testing, with the testing they will give it to the customer. Okay, they will give it to customer. Okay, and the customers will deploy in their own environment. Okay, before deploying the complete product or a software to their customer and live environment, before deploying to live environment, customer has their own environment to test the application. Okay, that is called UAT environment. Okay, so customers also directly don't apply the code in the live environments. Okay, they will also test before going to the live. So that environment is called UAT environment, which is called as user acceptance testing. Okay, because customers should know how it will work, and they also have their own test cases and all. Okay, so sometimes they also find defects during the testing unit. Okay, sometimes the QA people has missed some test cases, but those test cases can be identified by the customers, and they will apply those test cases. Okay, if the test cases has been successfully passed, they will directly deploy this code into the live environment where the customer, all the end users can use that. Okay, if still they find any issues, then they will return back to the QA team for to test this application and to get the quality product. Okay, once the UAT is success, then only the customer will deploy in the production or live environment. Okay, clear what is a white box, black box, and UAT? Any confusion? Speak up. No voice or anything. I assume that everyone is clear.
Yes, sir, clear. You can continue.
Sir, repeat it, sir. Once again.
Sorry,
Sorry. Once repeat it, sir.
you want to
UAT.
repeat it?
Yeah, your last one.
You want to repeat last one?
Yes, sir. User acceptance.
Acceptance. Okay, that's good for asking. Okay, so whenever the QA team done their testing and handing off to the customers. Okay, once the customer got this complete software, okay, customer will also have their own environment. Okay, so customer have their own environment. Means own environments, they can test internal themselves. Okay, they cannot give it to the live or say end users. End users means the people who want to use the software. Okay, before releasing to the live environment, customers will test that application is working as per their requirements or not. Okay, they will test on their environment. That environment is called UAT environment. Okay, user acceptance testing environment. Okay, here the customers will do will do their own testing. Okay, they have their own test cases and they have their requirements and everything. They will be ready before getting this build to their environment. Once it is success, they will directly deploy this build into the live environments where all the end users will use that application. Like banking application means the people okay, Once the banking customer has been tested this application and it is good, then they will release to the people. Like sometimes if you have banking applications in your mobile app, sometimes you will get some messages, right? The maintenance and server maintenance and getting new versions and that. So before releasing like that, they will test it in their own environment. Okay, if it's successful only, they will release to the end users. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Clearing. Now I'm going to cover the most important models. Okay, SDLC models. Okay. In SDLC, we have different types of models. One is V model. Another there is waterfall model, agile model, spiral model, etc. We have multiple models we have here. Okay. So out of this, waterfall model is the very old model. Okay. Now no one is using, but I will tell what is this model. Okay, later. Okay. The main important models now using is V model and agile models. So I will cover these two models in depth. Okay. And rest of the models I will cover what is that and how it will use. Okay. So let's discuss the one of the most important model is V model. Let me draw diagram about the V model. Okay, it will take 2 minutes. Meanwhile, I will.
Sir, you will share the video also, right?
Sorry.
You will be sharing the video as well, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. V model. Now we'll talk about the V model. What is V model? Okay, and how it is important and how we are using this V model in the existing industries. Okay. So what is V model means? V model is nothing but verification and validation model. My mistake. It's a validation. Okay, not validation. It's a validation. I kept some spelling mistake. Sorry for that. Yeah. V model is verification and validation model. Right, in the shape of V model, and now we'll discuss more on this model. Okay, what is this and how we'll use. Here one side, if you see is completely verification call. This is verification cell. Okay, and other side is validation cell. Okay, so this is also called as VV model. We can call as also a VV model. Okay, verification validation model, or simply we can call as V model. Okay, in this model, all development and testing activities go in parallel. Okay, all the development activities and testing activities go in a parallel. Okay, so if you see this one side is verification. This part is completely verification part. Okay, this completely it's a verification part in development activities. So all this thing is a verification part which will comes under the development activities, and this side is testing activities will be done, and this is testing activities will be done from this side. Okay, now if you observe side by side, SDLC process will start from the requirement understanding, right? So SDLC process will start from the requirement understanding. So here we are seeing BRS or CRC, or we have one more term called URS. Means BRS means business requirement specifications. Okay, CRC means customer requirement specifications. URS is user requirements. So some people will call different types of terminals. Okay, but most of the people call BRS or CRS. Business requirement specifications or customer specific requirements. Okay, so basically these are the documents. Which are provided by the customers. Okay, customers will provide these documents. Okay, which contains the customer requirements. This is very one of the important process. Okay, so here the customers will provide some documents about the requirements of the product or project. Okay, so But this is very general format and it is not in the technical format. Okay, so because the customer don't know about the technical details, okay, they know how the screen should be look. Okay, in the first screen I want login page, and second screen I want home page, and third screen I want transactions page, and fourth screen I want literal things, and fifth screen I want addresses adding, and sixth screen like create a new account. That I want like that. Okay, the customers will give the requirements like that only. Okay, because they don't know how to implement that. That's the reason they will give some the high level of requirements on this. Okay, that's the process will comes under the this process BRS or CRS. Okay, so again here the business analyst will prepare some document which is called SRS. Okay, so here some project managers or business analysts will come into the picture. Based on these requirements, they will create some SRS document. What is SRS? Is software requirement specifications. What is SRS? Is software requirement specifications. Okay, business analyst, the project manager will create some document based on the BRS document provided by the customers. Okay, and it is more in technical format. Okay, as SRS document will be in the technical formats, like how to start this project and what are the technologies we have to use and what are the testing technologies are used. Everything will be here is there in the technical format. Even developers or testers or everybody team can understand this SRS documents. Okay, so all the people involved in the developing a project, the software or anything. Okay, all the people should know aware of this, because those people know about this all the technical details. Okay, so here it contains some data flow diagrams. Okay, yeah, everyone must know, right, how the data flow diagrams will be like. Here diagrams like in our colleges we'll see, right, start a process and something like. Everyone is aware, right, flow diagrams or year diagrams.
Yes.
If not, I can tell about that also. Hope everyone knows about the flow diagrams. Okay. So here the business analyst project manager will give the complete documentation about the technical details in the in a flow diagrams or year diagrams. Okay, with what are the use cases and everything will be there in the SRS documents. The complete picture of this complete software will be available in this SRS documents. Okay, and also what are the validation we need to perform and what is the functionality of the application will be there in the complete SRS. So SRS is the main heart or brain, we can call it, is a one of the main heart of the software development. Okay, if we are developing any software, so this is one of the major part. Okay, there we have complete details what we are doing and what we have to do and everything, all the details. Okay, so this will be prepared based on the BRS document. Okay, so these are the two initial levels of the documents when software development is started, and then based on this, these are all comes under requirement phase. Okay, these all comes under the requirement phase. So SDLC, this is the in SDLC requirement phase is the first phase. Okay, and then HLD and LLD, and then HLD and LLD, based upon the document we will prepare the next phase is design phase. So based on these documents, the next phase is we'll develop some design phase. We have documents called HLD and LLD. Means HLD is high level design document and LLD is low level design document. Okay, so high level design document contains the picture of software. Okay, like data flow diagrams, year diagrams, and use cases. Everything will be diagrammatically representation formal. Okay, in this document. So I said here also everything will be for year diagrams, but here we have the only the high structure like a high level diagrams. Okay, start stop process. But in high level documents, what are the step by step process will be there in this high level document. Okay, high level design document. Okay, in the form of diagrams only. If this many of the companies many of the diagrams will be there are a lot of steps like start stop. If yes, it will move to the next screen. If no, it will raise a bug. Okay, like that. Okay, let me draw that one as well. Simple diagram. Start. Some condition. Something like it's a rough diagram. Okay, don't think it is a original diagram. So in the flow diagram, so if we start with the start means if we are getting the home page, so in home page what we will have login. So if the login page got success, if it is success, then it will come to the display home page. If it is fail, and it will come to the again home page. Okay, like login page. If everything if we are getting the home page on successful login, then we'll get the all the features available or all the options available in the home page. Okay, like that. It's a simple basic diagram. So in that way, we have in the HLD, we have the high level document. So there, step by step, everything will be written in the form of diagrams. Okay, in that. So when come to the low level design document, it is very detailed design documents. Formally, full project will be divided into modules. Okay, here in LLD is we have detailed design document. Formally, full project will be divided into some modules. Like modules in the sense, first screen is login page, second screen is home page, and third screen is menu options, and fifth screen is logout button, like that. Okay, so again, these models will be divided into sub models. Okay. So again, okay. So LLD is a low-level design document, but it is having very very detailed design documents. Formally have as a full project. So it is like assume M1 is a complete project. This project has different submodules. Again, this project has different submodules. Submodule 1, submodule 2, submodule 3, etc., etc. We have like that. Okay. So HLD contains the main module information. Okay. So HLD contains the main module information and LLD contains the submodule information. Okay. In high level to understand clearly. So M1 is a main project which is having the HLD document. Okay. HLD will have the complete project details. Okay. LLD have the complete details. Details means step by step models what we have to come. So we call as submodule details will have in the LLD documents. So HLD and LLD will be designed by the designers during the designing phase. Okay, during the designing phase. Okay, in SDLC we have third phase is design phase, right? In the design phase, all the designers team will develop about the HLD and LLD. Okay, once the design is completed, then developers will come into the picture. They will pick up each and everyone. Some developers will pick up so and so modules, and they will start writing the coding based on the LLD. Based on the LLD document, they will start implementing the coding. Okay. So whatever the model have been assigned to them, they will start doing coding. So if we see these are all the verifications. So whatever till now we discussed all the verification part, because here we don't have software ready. Till here we don't have anything to ready to validate. Okay. So everything. So we do only testing on the documents. So till now the QA people don't have any application to test. Okay. Till now they will do validation on the documents. So if you observe here, we need to review the BRS documents. Okay, here people should know about the this document. They have to review the document of BRS and review. They have to review the SRS document, and they have to review this HLD and LLD. Okay, so if these are all correct, and then whatever the software development is correct on, okay, if these are all documents are correct, then what are the we are developing, the developers, what they are developing is the correct and valid software. Okay, because the software development is based on this document. So whatever the development team is doing based on these documents only. So if these are all valid documents, then the whatever the developers are doing, that is valid software. Okay, so these documents are input to the development of a software. Okay, for developer, these are above documents are a input to this, input to them. Okay, so here there are many reviews will happen, because to ensure that documents are correct. Okay, the once the customers are giving this document, simply we cannot take this document and add the SRS and the HLD. Okay, so here also we will review the documents whether we are getting the proper understanding of the requirements or not. If it is clear, then only the analyst will business analyst or project manager will get with the specific software requirement specifications. Okay, once this requirements also has done by the project manager businesses, there should be a review should be happen where to the by the other people. Okay, once this is also valid and there is no questions and everything is looks good, then only the designers will start design this documents HLD or LLD. Here also there will be a review will be happen. Okay, whether we are getting the valid diagrams and everything will be in the process or not. Here also we'll review these documents. Once these are valid, then only the developers will start coding on that. So here verification means, are we following the process correctly or not? So in each and every step, if we do something, are we doing correctly or not? That is verification. So verification means we are following the process correctly or not. So in each and every step, so in each and every step, so in each and every step, we'll test if something. Sorry, in each and every step, if we do something, are we doing the correctly or not? And we are doing the valid or not, that is verification. So to ensure the correctness of completeness of the documentation, okay, simply says to ensure the correctness and completeness of the document is called verification. Technically, we can say verification is to ensure the correctness and completeness of documentation is called verification. So we do step-by-step verification process. So this is all one area of verification involves. Okay, this is all one area where verification involves by reviewing the documents. Okay, not only by reviewing the documents, sometimes we do walkthrough inspection. Okay, sometimes we'll do walkthrough inspection. Okay, what is that means? I will tell in coming class. Okay, so we'll take about this in the next coming class. What is walkthroughs, reviews, and all. So once the coding is ready means, the software is ready. Once the coding is ready means the software will be ready here. And once the software is ready, then validation will start. Okay, till now we done only verification. Okay, whether we are getting the whether we have the proper requirements or not. Okay, so after the requirements is done, we are starting the coding. Once the coding is done, then what will happen? We will get the software is ready. So once the software is ready means what the next step is? The testing. So the validation part will comes into the picture. So before software is ready, we do only verification, and after software is ready, we will do validation. So as part of validation, the first part is unit testing. Okay, and as part of unit. Sorry. So as
Sir,
part
for
of validation.
coding language, for coding, who decides which language to be used, sir?
So in the SRS document only will the analyst or project manager will decide about the technical what are the languages are we have to use. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So where I stop? Okay. So as part of validation, unit testing, integration testing, system testing, system testing, and UAT testing will comes into the picture. And all these types of Sorry, and all these levels of testing comes under the validation part. Mouse is not working. Okay. So all this comes under the part of validation part. So what is validation means? Here we are checking our product whether it is working as per the customer requirement or not. So in this validation part, what we'll do, we'll check whether this application or software is working as per the requirements given by the customers. Okay, so whatever the customers provided requirement, it should be worked as per. Okay, that is kind of validation. So few things to be understand is verification happens. So verification will happens only before software is developed. Before software is developing, verification will comes into the picture, and there we will review all the documents, and verification will be done by reviewing the available documents. So once the software is ready, then the validation will comes into the picture in the form of unit testing, integration testing, system testing, or UAT testing. Okay, so these are all the validation techniques. So all levels of testings will comes under where? All levels of testings will comes under validation part. So first level is unit testing. So first level is unit testing. We need to do on coding. So who will do unit testing? Developers will do the testing. What they have written the code is executable or not. That is done by the unit developers. They will do the basic sanity testing. They will do basic testing. The program is working as per their written program. Okay, that is unit testing. Okay, and this is also known as unit testing is also known as, we will do this. It's also known as white box testing. Okay. Again, and integration testing will do based upon the HLD and LLD documents. So integration testing also will be done based on the HLD. So HLD and LLD, what will happen in HLD? We have the main model. Main model is the complete software project application model we have details, and LLD will have is the submodules of a project or application. So integration testing is also done by the developers. Okay, it's also called as white box testing. So integration testing means all the modules will be combined into a single project. Okay, so one developer, two developer, third developer will develop each and every module. So once they are ready with their unit testing, they will integrate this into the single model. Okay, they will integrate the single model and they will test. Okay, after integrating these programs, all this application is working as per their program what they have written. Okay, once this is done, they will move to the system testing. So system testing, who will do this is QA people, quality analyst people will do the system testing, and it is also done known as black box testing. Okay, it is also known as black box testing. So black box testing, system testing will be done based on the SRS documents. Okay, based on the SRS software specific requirements. Sorry, software requirement specific document is based on this. The system testing will be done by the QA people. It's because these developers don't know what is how the functionality will work. Okay, they know what is the functionality, but they don't know how the functionality will work on the flows. Okay, simply they will write the code based on the HLD documents. Okay, but the QA people should understand this SRS document completely. So based on this SRS documents, the QA people will write the test cases. Based on the test cases, we will means QA people will execute this. Okay, once this is done and once it is successful and we did not find any bugs. Okay, everything is good and the quality is sign off, then it will move to the UAT environment. So UAT, who will do this? UAT testing is done by the customers who gave the requirements for us. So based on this VRS or CRS documents, the customers will do their own enrollment. Okay. So once they are good, then they will release to the end customers. And the customers means end users like us who will use the software. Okay. So and we test the complete software whether it is working according to the customer requirements or not. That is all about the system testing. So here we won't test the code. Okay, here we won't test the code. We test the overall functionality of the application with respect to the requirements. This comes under the black box testing as we discussed in earlier, right? So and what is input document is? For this input document is SRS document. Okay, and then user acceptance testing will be done by the testing done by the users and based on the documents. So BRS and URS or CRS is the documents created by the customer. They are for them. This is the documents for input of the document for the, so for this testing, these documents are the input. So customers will recheck the software is working as per their requirement or not. So that is called this are also called under comes under as a black box testing only. Okay, here also they don't see any code, right? So one side is verification model and the other side is a validation model. So two things we remember is verification should be performed before the software is ready. So verification will perform before the software is ready. Validation will comes into picture once the software is ready. Okay, we do lot of reviews. Okay, that is called, okay, in verification we'll do lot of reviews. Okay, in verification what we'll do lot of reviews. Reviews means how this documents is looks good. Okay, looks like we are getting all the requirements, everything is will be in understandable format, all the requirements will be in the specified format, everything will be reviewed in this verification process. Okay, this is the main intention. Review is the main intention of the verification. Okay, and validation means whatever we already done that is working correctly or not according to the requirement. That is about validation part. But when you do unit testing, that is already done something. So you already developed software on top of the software. Okay, so you do testing, integration testing, system testing, and unit testing. So all these validations will done after completion of the software. Okay, so here also involves static testing and dynamic testing. So here also involves static testing and dynamic testing. So okay, before going to static, and are you guys clear? Are any questions or any confusion or anything? Please reach out. Sorry, please feel free to ask. So we'll repeat it again. If I'm going fast or I'm going okay, anything you can ask me.
It is clear, sir. You can continue.
If you guys don't have any questions, then I will ask the questions.
Sure.
Yeah, I assume everyone is clear. I'm erasing, okay?
If everyone is clear, ask some questions, Suresh, please.
Yes, I will ask. I will ask. Okay. Last 5 minutes, I will ask that. Okay, so here also we have in the V model also we have involves static testing and dynamic testing. Okay, for example, here we are testing the document, right? So in the verification model, we'll test some documents, right? So in the verification model, we'll test some documents, right? As software is before software is not ready, we are only testing the documents. So before the software is ready, we are testing the only documents. So documents are always static. So verification in static testing will comes under as a verification testing, verification model, V model. So before software is getting ready, we have only the documents. So we will test the documents. So documents is always static. Okay, so so that is called static testing, and it comes under the verification. So static testing means verifying the documentation part. Okay, static testing means verifying the documentation part as we haven't tested any software. So verifying the document is called static testing. Okay, another one is called as another one is dynamic testing. Okay, another one is dynamic testing. So it means once the software is ready, here we will test this dynamically, because while passing multiple inputs and getting outputs are correct or not will validate in each and every step. So once we get the software is ready, there we will test the application, like by providing some inputs, like for example, if we get our application ready, our software is ready, then what we'll do initially, we'll enter the login details. Okay, so login details are the login details are not static. Okay, it's a dynamic. So it is like for person, each and everyone has different user details, right? So those are the inputs. Okay, we are giving dynamically while running the application. So that is so dynamic. So that while passing multiple inputs. Okay, it's dynamic. While passing, sorry, while running the application, we'll pass the multiple inputs. Okay, which are dynamically. Okay, that is called dynamic testing. So unit testing, integration testing, system testing, all comes under the dynamic testing only. So even in the unit testing, okay, the what they will developers will do, they will test their code. Okay, by passing some values, like whether they will write a code for addition. Okay, they will test, they will give 1 plus 2. Okay, they are getting 3. Okay, expected output is 3. Okay, they will give some input while running the program. So while running the programs, they are giving some values dynamically. Okay, that is so called as dynamic test. Even in integration, once they integrate all the programs into my single program, the first person will get output. The output becomes input to the second person, second model, right? So like that, we are giving some inputs and we are getting some expected output. Okay, so all we done is while running the application, right? So that is the dynamic testing. So dynamic testing will falls under the validation. Okay, dynamic
Sir,
testing.
one doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, this V model and waterfall model, this is kind of similar, right, sir?
No,
Because-
no. I will tell. Okay, when I will tell about waterfall models, I will say the difference. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, please explain later.
Yeah. Okay. So dynamic testing comes under the validation phase, and static testing comes under the verification testing. So now under verification, we'll see some techniques like reviews, and we have walkthroughs and inspections. So these are what's the time? 7:24. Okay. Let me stop here. Okay, I guess clear, right? Just today we covered only V model. Okay. Like we are running time. We have only last 5 minutes. Let me